a C-130 Hercules transport aircraft comes apart mid-flight. This is unbelievable. Let me show you the video and I'll explain what I think happened. All right, let me stop it right there. You can see the wings and you can see part of the fuselage. Those four little things pointing out down this way are the engines on the C-130. And I believe what's coming out the ends of the wings is fuel. All right, when the C-130 can dump fuel, it would come out the ends of the wings like that. And I believe because of the way this aircraft came apart, the fuel that is remaining in the wings is now venting out the end of those pipes at the end of the wing. What's missing in this picture is the tail of the aircraft and the cockpit of the aircraft. It's just come apart. I've never seen anything like this. The very first part of this video, you saw either the tail or the fuselage or the cockpit part of the airplane kind of descending on its own. What could cause something like this? I've no idea. I'm going to give you a couple of possibilities here in a minute, but it's hard to imagine what could have caused this. Let's watch this now as it continues to descend. The wings are still kind of partially flying as it just spirals down to the ground. It's going to descend below a mountain ridge here in a minute, continuing to descend. And then in just a second, you're going to see a fireball. All right, there it is, where it impacts the ground. The rest of the parts of the airplane are still falling. All right. So again, the airplane comes apart mid-flight. We don't know exactly why. Where was this aircraft when it came apart? It was near the Georgia-Azerbaijan border. It's a Turkish Air Force C-130, and the C-130 is like a Swiss Army knife of an aircraft. They've been around forever. The first flight of a C-130 was in 1954. It was pressed into service in the U.S. Air Force in 1956. That's how old it is. It's older than me and older than a lot of you. Now, this airplane in particular, don't know exactly how old this airframe is. Probably not one of those 1950s models. However, an airplane, no matter how old it is, just doesn't come apart like that in flight. There's got to be a reason for that to happen. Either something happened internally or something happened externally. So I can talk about both of those, but give me a minute on this. It's confirmed right now. They believe 20 dead. There were 20 folks, total souls on board on that aircraft. Clearly all fatalities on this. The aircraft call sign was Tango Uniform Alpha Foxtrot 543, flying under the Turkish flag. It departed at 10:19 UTC time. It flew for 30 minutes. The last report on ADSB was at 10:49 UTC. The aircraft climbed all the way up to flight level 240, which is a typical altitude for that aircraft. I flew an aircraft similar to this. The P3 has the same engines, those Allison T56 engines, beautiful airplane, very, very versatile, both the P3 and the C-130, but the C-130 just takes the cake for versatility. This aircraft has done all sorts of missions. Not only is it a transport aircraft, it carries parts and people. It also is there's a C-130 gunship that is just absolute, will destroy miles around it. Got cannons and missiles and everything else on it. This airplane is used as a refueler. It's used for all sorts of different things. So it was designed by Lockheed back in the day, now Lockheed Martin. And again, lots of foreign air forces fly C-130s that they either purchased directly from Lockheed or they kind of went out of service here in the U.S. and we sold them overseas. So that's kind of a quick and dirty on the background of this aircraft. Now, what possibly could cause this thing to come apart? I have really no idea. If there was some sort of an internal explosion on the inside of the airplane, maybe it could come apart like that. The video picks up from the wing and the airplane's already separated, descending, and it doesn't look like there was a big fireball or anything associated with this. It looks like it just came apart. The other possibility is that it was some sort of external issue. A missile perhaps hit this thing. Again, there's from the video we can see there's no evidence of that, and there's no eyewitness reports talking about that, at least at this early junction. All I know is that this aircraft came down on the border of Georgia and Azerbaijan. The western shore of the Caspian Sea is not far from there, and that is one of the areas where the Russian-Ukraine war is raging right now. So could this have been a mistake? Could it have been, I don't know what it could have been. It could have been an errant missile or on purpose. But again, there's not a lot of evidence that it was even a missile. So all of that is kind of guesswork for why an aircraft like this would come apart mid-flight. If they're cruising at flight level 240, they're not doing anything extraordinary that would cause an airplane to break up like this. And again, it would have to be the most extreme of G's for an airplane to break up into three distinct parts like this. I've never seen wings continue to fly like that. And clearly, I think the stuff coming out the ends of the wings is the fuel that was remaining in those wings. The C-130, there's a bunch of different variations of the C-130. It's primarily a transport category aircraft. Like I said, it was first pressed into service in 1954, four-engine aircraft, and the latest version of it works with a Rolls-Royce engine, the AE2100. It's got about a 2,300-mile range on this aircraft. Not the longest range on the planet, but again, it's not designed to go a long way. It's designed actually to get from point A to point B and take stuff, heavy stuff there, and bring it back. It can land and take off on runways less than 3,000 feet, and they don't even have to be paved. That's one of the wonderful, versatile things about the C-130. And a little bit of trivia, if you've ever gone to a Blue Angels air show, you probably saw Fat Albert, the blue C-130, that big old transport aircraft that they bring all the people and support and parts with them. That is called Fat Albert, and you probably saw it do that. Their jet-assisted takeoff, JATO takeoff, where they put the JATO cans at the back of the aircraft. And it takes about 500 feet for it to just go straight up into the air. And it can land very short field too. So again, this aircraft is used for a lot of different things. The president of Turkey, President Erdogan, interrupted a speech he was giving to break the news yesterday about this. And while he was giving the speech, he referred to the 20 souls on board as martyrs, which to me is an interesting choice of words. It's a curious expression. Now, it might just be a cultural thing to refer to military dead as martyrs, but it kind of, I don't know, halfway indicates something happened to them. Maybe something outside of their control, and which would lean us towards the missile theory. But again, we're going to wait for the days and weeks ahead to see if there's any report that that's what caused this aircraft to come down. But this accident took place near the latest action in the Russian-Ukraine war. That's the only tidbit that we have that could explain possibly why it came apart. It certainly wouldn't be fatigue on the airplane. It wouldn't just come apart like that. There would be some signs prior to that. And was there something on board that exploded and caused the airplane to come apart? I don't know. We'll keep you posted as we get more details on this one, but I wanted you to see this because it just took place on Veterans Day, and it was absolutely devastating. And again, our hearts go out and our prayers go out to the 20 souls on board and the families that are impacted by this. It's a true tragedy. Again, if you serve for the U.S. Air Force, the Turkish Air Force, we're all brothers in this thing. And it just breaks my heart to see men and women that are in military service lose their life in the service of their country. But that's the latest that we know about the C-130 that crashed over near Georgia and Azerbaijan. We'll give you more details as they arise. Well, now you know. I'm Captain Steve. Fly safe. There have been some other accidents not too long ago that really kind of are head scratchers. If you want to see one of those videos, check out one of these.